If your child has ever used YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram, their brain is already being shaped and programmed in ways you probably haven't imagined, and some of it might not be reversible. Social media isn't just a distraction. It's rewiring childhood in ways scientists are only beginning to map. In this video, we'll uncover the hidden costs of constant scrolling and the practical steps every parent can take to protect their child's developing mind. Let's talk about it. Meet Ava. She's 8 years old. She doesn't wake up for Saturday morning cartoons. She wakes up for YouTube unboxing videos, breakfast at 7:30, bus ride at 8, bedtime at 8:30, and in between, 5 hours a day glued to a screen. 5 hours of rapid swipes, bright thumbnails, and endless autoplay. Did you know the average child now spends over 5 hours a day on non-school screen time? That's more than they spend on story time, art class, or outdoor play combined. But it's just entertainment, right? Or is it rewiring their developing brains? Consider this. A 2024 brain imaging study found that children with high daily screen use showed delayed maturation in the prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for impulse control and planning. Their neural pathways adapt to fast-paced stimuli, making slower activities like reading or board games feel dull. Behaviorally, those same children often struggle to concentrate on simple tasks without a screen's instant feedback. Early childhood exposure to unpredictable, dopamine-driven content can delay emotional regulation, meaning kids have a harder time calming down or focusing when the screen is off. So before you dismiss it as just fun, remember, every swipe, like, or video pause is literally training your child's brain to crave constant novelty. Let's look inside. Short-form videos are engineered for dopamine, those feel-good chemical hits you get when something likes your post or you swipe to the next clip. Every second-long swipe triggers a mini reward loop. Over time, this conditions young minds to expect constant novelty, making anything slower feel boring. Attention spans have shrunk by nearly 25% in just 5 years on social media platforms. And that's just the start. Early childhood exposure to rapid, unpredictable stimuli can delay emotional regulation, meaning kids have a harder time calming down or focusing when the screen is off. Researchers have also linked heavy social media use to disrupted sleep patterns. The blue light and mental arousal from endless scrolling can push a child's natural bedtime back by up to an hour, reducing restorative deep sleep. In classrooms, teachers report a rise in digital distractibility, where students struggle to follow multi-step instructions or engage in group discussions without glancing at a screen. Moreover, these dopamine loops don't just overload attention systems. They can hijack social development too. When the reward center becomes accustomed to likes and views, genuine peer interactions may feel less thrilling. Playdates can start to feel underwhelming, and face-to-face conversations may lack the same instant gratification. Even simple boredom, which once sparked creativity or imaginative play, now triggers agitation. Understanding these physiological and behavioral shifts is crucial before we explore personalization, how different parenting styles can interrupt or reinforce these reward cycles. Now meet Liam, age 11. He posted a video of his skateboard trick on Instagram and got 2 likes. He deleted it, then he stopped posting, then he stopped inviting friends over. What started as a moment of pride turned into a lesson in loneliness. Studies show that every additional hour on social media increases risk of anxiety and depression by nearly 20% in kids under 13. By age 10, almost half of all children say they compare themselves to online influencers and often feel not good enough. Their mirror to self-worth shifts from your loving words to the cold swipe of an app algorithm designed to sell ads, not build confidence. Liam's case isn't unique. Researchers at the University of California found that adolescents who regularly check social feeds for validation report a 30% higher rate of social withdrawal and decreased willingness to engage in real-world activities. Over time, seeking likes can become a compensatory behavior for underlying self-esteem issues, creating a feedback loop. Fewer likes lead to regret or shame, which leads to more impulsive posting, and sometimes altogether quitting offline connections. Even schoolwork suffers. When kids internalize social comparison, they may avoid challenging subjects where they fear failure. Teachers note rising instances of performance anxiety, where a child would rather not attempt a math problem than risk looking incompetent, just as they would rather not post a photo than risk getting 0 likes. By the time children reach their early teens, their brains are hardwired wired to crave the little dopamine boosts they get from likes, comments, and shares. In fact, a multi-year study of middle schoolers found that teens who checked social apps every hour or so showed growing sensitivity in brain areas tied to reward and excitement, making everyday activities, like chatting with friends in person, feel dull in comparison. Even more striking, UCLA scientists had teens scroll through a fake Instagram feed while inside an MRI machine and saw the same brain regions light up for popular posts as they do for chocolate or gambling wins. What does this look like at home? You might notice your teen reaching for their phone the moment they wake up, or feeling anxious or down after logging off. Homework can suddenly feel impossible to focus on, and bedtime routines may turn into endless negotiations because their brain is still buzzing from the last notification. Some teens even start skipping real-life hangouts or posting riskier photos just to chase that next hit of approval. These are not just habits, but signs that social media is reshaping how their young brain pays attention, manages emotion, and views self-worth. Sudden mood swings, joy one moment, irritability the next, can flare up when notifications lag or vanish. You may spot them endlessly refreshing feeds or retreating into silence when asked to talk about their day. Physical tension, stiff shoulders, clenched jaws often shows the stress of waiting for validation. And don't overlook the compare and despair trap. If they snap a selfie and then stare at it for minutes, they're literally scanning for flaws, convincing their brain that nothing they do offline is ever good enough. It's not too late. By watching for these behaviors and talking about them, you can help your teen break the cycle. Offer energizing screen-free alternatives, a quick bike ride, a shared cooking project, or a phone-free family game. Celebrate every analog win, no filters needed, and set clear but flexible check-in times to discuss what they've seen and how it made them feel. Model balance screen habits yourself. Let them see you close your laptop or silence notifications, and you'll show that life outside the app can be just as thrilling. Encourage offline hobbies, set clear boundaries, and model balanced screen habits, and you'll help your teen rebuild healthier, more balanced ways to connect and unwind. Next, we'll explore how different parenting approaches can either exacerbate or alleviate these online pressures, and introduce a hybrid strategy proven to foster resilience and healthy self-concept in the digital age. Here's where your parenting style meets the digital age. In a permissive home, where media rules are vague or non-existent, children can slip into secretive late-night scrolling, exposing themselves to content you'd rather they avoid. An authoritarian screen off at 6 edict may feel effective, but without conversation, it often backfires as kids learn to sneak screens or push back harder. In contrast, the authoritative approach, setting boundaries while talking things through, builds trust and self-regulation. Begin by co-creating a weekly media contract with your child. Agree on which apps are okay and when screens must be off. During a tech tea time, watch their favorite short clips together and ask what made them smile or what felt tense, building critical viewing skills. Use an hourglass or timer app so they learn to self-monitor. After about 20 minutes of screen use, prompt a power-up break. Stretch, grab coloring materials, or step outside, framing these pauses as energizing boosts rather than punishments. When your child completes a puzzle, masters a board game, or paints a picture, celebrate those analog achievements just as enthusiastically as a flood of likes. Right after screen sessions, try a quick round of Simon Says or a memory matching game to rebuild the impulse control muscles that rapid-fire videos weaken. 30 minutes before bedtime, switch to low-stimulus activities, reading aloud, gentle stretching, or gratitude journaling to counteract blue light effects and protect deep sleep. A 2020 WHO advisory even recommended strict limits on children's daily screen time to support healthy development. Neuroscience confirms why these steps matter. Simply seeing a smartphone, even unused, can lower working memory capacity by tying up mental resources needed for focus. Reading complex text on screens also impairs comprehension compared to print, likely because our brains rely on spatial and sensory cues, like the feel or smell of a book, to boost recall. Early intensive screen use in preschoolers has been linked to altered language network development and lower executive function scores in diffusion tensor MRI studies. Even changes in gray matter volume of the amygdala, the brain's emotional center, have been correlated with high social media addiction scores. Finally, model balanced behavior. Put your phone away at dinner, admit when you need breaks from social media, and periodically audit your child's apps together. Review privacy settings, discuss data tracking, and decide which digital footprints feel safe. By weaving boundary setting, shared reflection, offline rewards, and mindful role modeling into everyday life, you actively nurture your child's self-control, critical thinking, and emotional well-being, without ever imposing a rigid list of do's and don'ts. We can't shield our kids from every screen in a world that's wired for constant connection, but we can give them the tools to navigate it wisely. By setting thoughtful boundaries, modeling healthy habits, and sparking real conversations, you'll help your child build the resilience and focus today's digital landscape demands. What rules or rituals have you tried in your home? Drop your strategies and stories in the comments below. Your insight could make all the difference for another parent watching. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe and ring the bell so Parent Squad can keep bringing you research-backed tips and real-world solutions for raising kids in a screen-filled world. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.